me some sound over here.
You are a part of the Ace and TJ radio family.
Go. This is launch control.
Let's synchronize, shall we?
Ace, TJ, Riggins, Alexis, Tech D-Rob.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Let's go!
Live from the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Well, today marks the beginning of the saddest time of the year for people who, for people who don't like basketball.
Yeah, I guess so. Last few weeks of the NCAA basketball season leading into March Madness and the NBA, that's about all you got for a while. Well,
So,
Daytona 500 coming up Sunday.
yeah, I'm talking about like ball sports.
That's
though.
pretty awesome.
When's that spring football league start? Other than spring, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I can't watch that.
The UFL, that starts in a couple weeks.
That's like watching girls football.
Actually, I think it starts in March, Rob. Yeah. Girls football. Yeah, so they've combined the USFL and the XFL have joined together.
Really? Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
think each one lost like $70 million or something. They were like, hey,
Yeah.
guys, maybe having two of these at one time is not a good idea. Maybe we should join forces.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It says March 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a hangover.
Yeah, but I didn't watch the Super Bowl past the first series because I had to go to bed. But I knew that if I watched more than that, I'd get into the game. And I mean, Ambien can't even stop that adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? Once I get into a football game.
Yeah, I made it through the third quarter, right somewhere toward the end of the third quarter. It was roughly 10 o'clock or so, almost 10 o'clock when I fell asleep. But yeah, and then I woke up to find out, oh my God, it went into overtime and missed all of that stuff. So I had to watch the end of it this morning.
Yeah. I watched the whole.
I knew they weren't going to let the 49ers win. They weren't going to let Christian McCaffrey and them win.
You're saying it's a conspiracy theory against the 49ers, TJ? They didn't let them win?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, just like they weren't going to let Christian McCaffrey win the MVP of the NFL. They had to give him Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
We knew that was coming. They weren't going to let him win that.
They are officially a dynasty now, having won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Dynasty. Oh. Well, I think Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, all of them should just retire now.
Why?
George Kittle, Nick Bosa, all of them, they're not going to let them be on Super Bowl winning teams.
It's only the Chiefs from here on out.
No, they could maybe, I think the 49ers could win again, but not with those players. There's a vendetta against them.
Okay. Any idea why there's a vendetta against them, TJ? Okay.
Yeah, there is, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I don't want to get killed.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
Well, rigged is trending. People, there's a lot of belief that
Get out of here.
the NFL is rigged, that they thought the Chiefs were the winners all along, that something is afoot here. But the top trending...
Why else would Roger Goodell be up there meeting with Taylor Swift before the game started in her suite, huh?
It is a lot of people reacted to that photo.
I saw the video of it happening live.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, and I got some lip readers coming. It's going to tell me exactly what they was saying.
Yeah.
Well, I was live tweeting yesterday, and Riggins called me yesterday. He goes, hey, would you live tweet the Super Bowl? I said, sure. So I started at 5 o'clock, and by 5:30, the Taylor Swift count was up to 6, either visuals or mentions of her. And one of those was both, because I happened to catch the Travis Kelce interview where they did a whole section of it about that. And I think by the time the game, in the first quarter, I had the count up to 10. Either shots of her or mentions of her, and I gave up after that. Like, okay, we've hit double digits now. The trade is off the rails. We're going.
She is the top trending topic this morning. The Swiftie Bowl, the Taylor Bowl. Thousands of videos on the internet of her when she finally makes it down into the field, and people are going, what a momentous month. She wins her 14th Grammy. She announces her next album. She starts up her world tour again, and now her boyfriend wins the Super Bowl. I mean, girls are ready. Some women are just ready to rip their hair out and say, why not me?
What an amazing week. She sold out 4 nights to 55,000 people,
Yeah.
then flies all the way home to see her boyfriend win the Super Bowl. Boom!
Yeah.
Now she's back on a plane off to Singapore or wherever. That's
Killing the environment.
that's amazing.
Well, I heard she bought double the amount of carbon credits required to offset the amount.
What is a
I didn't
carbon
even know that.
credit?
Double the carbon credits.
Yeah,
What does that
Al
even
Gore,
mean?
Al Gore makes money off of carbon credits. It used to mean that if you go do something like fly on a private jet, then you can come back and pay this organization, and then they'll go plant that many trees in your to make up for your carbon emissions. So, so therefore, you can fly and be out there doing with no guilt.
Exactly.
And Al Gore was one of the partners that started the company that you would give money to for carbon credits.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, how many? Oh, that's going to be a lot of carbon credits, Taylor. We're looking at about I don't know, 10 million.
At least.
$10 million worth of trees, and we'll have them planted by what? What, guys? The end of Thursday morning, we'll have all those trees planted in your name.
One carbon credit is worth $40 to $80 on average, just so you know.
Okay.
Now, my question with that is, okay, great. Would she have done that had the whole story come out about how much she was flying and all that she was the biggest carbon emitter? You know what I mean?
I don't know when she bought them, but it
Yeah.
would be interesting to find that out.
And maybe she was buying them in advance, whatever, you know.
Listen, kids, I know if you love Taylor Swift or not, that's great. If you want to be like Taylor Swift, that's great. But don't be like her in that way and think that carbon credits is some way that you can assuage your guilt from doing whatever it is that they've made you feel guilty about in the environment. Don't follow her in that lead.
Yeah.
Please.
There's
Don't
the-
make a fool of yourself.
There's the kiss.
Here's the picture. So Travis comes around, hugs his mom first, and then the camera's picked up when he starts walking over to Taylor and says, "Come here, girl."
Yeah, and one of the things I noticed when I saw that video, the one that I saw, the first one I saw, is Taylor's kind of behind. Taylor Swift stood behind her
Yeah.
mom, like, hey, you know, she didn't try to get in there. She just walked up to, as she came up, as they were walking up onto the field, she clearly positioned herself to be behind mom. So we got to mom first and all that. So
I would have thought she'd have put a little more effort into her hair, though. I mean, just a ponytail? Is that what we
We
got
got a
out of
braid.
that?
We got a braid in the ponytail,
Oh.
so there's a little flare.
It just looked like she, I don't know, she's just kind of...
Well, she just did 4 sold-out shows in Japan. Has to travel overnight. You know, I kind of feel bad for her this morning because there's videos of Travis and Taylor at a club in Las Vegas. She's just gotten off a cross-continent flight to
Yeah.
go to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
well.
and now she's got to go stay at a Vegas club until 6 in the morning. Like, I want to go to bed. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
It's
exhausted.
the Super Bowl, though. She should have had that hair teased to the moon, no matter
think?
how tired she is.
Tease it up.
Yes.
yeah.
No, I'm kidding, ladies. I'm kidding.
So yeah, it's a lot of Taylor Travis
Yeah,
stuff
so-
this morning.
But you know,
And I
club
wonder-
people just can't resist. Though. I know. It doesn't matter what. If you're a club rat, you're up in there no matter what you got to do the next day.
I love it. Got to get to the club, and they wore matching outfits the whole thing.
Oh, they were matching outfits?
It looks that
I'm not a
way.
fan of couples wearing matching
I
outfits.
mean, both black leather. You know, it's a look. They got a look going on. Did any of the commercials stand out for you?
Yes, Duncan. The Dunkings.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Tom Brady, Jennifer Lopez, Jack Harlow,
Fat Joe.
Fat Joe. I thought it was hands down. I laughed out loud. The best commercial that I saw in the entire Super Bowl.
Yeah, Ben Affleck was pretty funny in it.
Yeah, he was.
And I like seeing it because he's got this image that he's just like this smoking, depressed guy, but it kind of works for him now. He's kind of leaning into it.
Yeah, I thought that one was really good.
We found out Beyonce is also trending this morning. She released 2 new country songs, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're not
one
bad.
One of them's called 16 Carriages. The other one's called Texas Hold'em or something like that. They're both pretty good. I mean, I don't know if it's country, but they
not.
certainly sound more country than her other songs do.
Well, that's what old Post Malone's trying now. He's trying. They look at it like Jelly Roll made it in country. He went from hip hop to country. He's got tattoos all over his face.
Yeah.
I can do that.
What did you guys think
Yeah,
about
but Post Malone's been doing that stuff for years, though. He's been doing country stuff for years.
hit country stuff that's being played on country radio and all that?
No, he's just been showing up playing country music for a long time
He's
for
trending
different people.
towards it.
Yeah.
Did you guys like his?
What about Beyonce? She been doing country?
She had no.
She's from Texas, though, right?
Yeah, originally
Well,
Houston.
but he's from Houston.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
That ain't like being from dang Tyler. What?
Did you? I was unimpressed by both Reba, Post Malone, and the Super Bowl halftime show.
I had two problems. One, Post Malone, his guitar was turned up too loud, and his singing voice for that song was too soft for the music to be as loud as it was, because you had a hard time hearing him. It was okay. Reba was okay. I was a little disappointed. I expected something more, and when I tweeted that out, it was like I said she was horrible. I didn't say she was horrible. I just said it was
You can't
okay.
say anything about Reba anymore.
And people
for
were
some
like,
reason.
well, she sang the song. She didn't try to do anything fancy. Well, true. She also dropped a couple notes, and I didn't care for the rendition of the song that they did musically. I thought they could have done it differently. It felt like it was rushed.
Yeah. And Usher doing the Super Bowl halftime show. I was so excited. It's fun to watch Usher dance. That guy is amazing. But I thought overall the show itself left a little bit to be desired. I don't know.
I liked it a lot.
We'll get into that in a second, because
Okay.
there are a few. There's some thoughts that are circulating about it that I just don't understand.
It was a little goofy when he was on the skates, but
That was kind of the part I liked. I was like, I should roller skate now. Yeah, that's kind of fun. But those are. I'm sure we'll get into more of this. But
I'll have covered up in a second. Hang on.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it on the Ace and TJ family app. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
All guests of the Ace and TJ show stay at the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. Beautiful rooms, incredible dining options. Book your room by calling 980-299-7123. It's the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first-class cleaning with the Johnson Group. Attention Charlotte, treat yourself to a delicious meal that's made with fresh, seasonal ingredients and ready in just 20 minutes. Enjoy a fine dining experience without ever leaving your home. Head over to tableandtwine.com.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
You have until Thursday morning at 10 to get your entry in for a shot at $10,000. It's the first quarter of the rest of your life. Thursday, February 15th, 10 a.m. That is the deadline to have your entry in 100 words or less, telling us how $10,000 would change your life forever and the lives of others. So all you got to do is go to acetj.com/first, or you can go to any of our social media. It's pinned right at the top. Click the link, fill out the form. Don't email us, don't DM us. It's got to go through this way to make it easy. But Thursday, 10 a.m. is the deadline to get your entry in for the first quarter of the rest of your life. So Super Bowl, in overtime, the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the San Francisco 49ers. I was live tweeting during the game, and when I got to the Super Bowl halftime show, I just said, I'm going to reserve judgment. What do you think? The majority of people that responded to that tweet at the Ace TJ show said the same thing. Started slow. The audio was weird in the beginning. You couldn't hear the music very well. And then, like, toward the end, it got okay. There were two things that stood out to me about Usher's halftime performance. One, until you got it bad, I thought it was pretty boring. I thought the Alicia Keys part was not great.
Yeah.
And then after you got it bad, it was Lil Jon turned the whole thing around. Yeah. As somebody said, I was bored until the last 75 seconds, which was Lil Jon and when Ludacris came up and all that. They were on the skates and all that kind of stuff.
Lil Jon says like one line the whole time, but it really was. It was like the highlight. Las Vegas, turn down for what?
And the crowd just went, and everybody went crazy, and he was pumping up the crowd, and he was great. I thought Luda was good, all that, but who else was in it? Will.i.am was there. Alicia Keys was there.
Yeah, Will.i.am looking like a real idiot.
I didn't know who that was. I was so confused.
Jermaine Dupri, who I thought was CeeLo in the beginning.
Yeah, I did too.
In the beginning, I thought it was him the whole time.
Yeah, I really did. Her was quote unquote playing guitar during "You Got It Bad."
Yeah,
that was okay. I mean, it was until "Turned Down for What." I was like, "This is okay," but they could have gotten rid of all the people, because I thought the best part of Usher dancing was during "You Got It Bad," but it was just Usher on the stage by himself dancing. But it was I thought it was started slow, it finished slow. I don't know why it started so slow. They started with it was real slow during the first part of it before it got to the end where it turned up with "Turned Down for What" and the ludicrous song.
Yeah.
But I wondered about that, because those hits like "You Got It Bad," "Confessions," a lot of his hits are slower or ballads. I was like, it was okay.
Alicia Keys hit a sour note right out of the gate.
First note she missed badly.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's Alicia Keys. Maybe it happens once in a while, but I still think she's great.
But isn't she a sour person too, which makes it even worse?
I don't know.
She never seems like she's very jovial to me.
No, I wouldn't. She doesn't strike me as like a laugher.
No.
But I don't know.
I mean,
she's a serious person.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
You could tell Usher was working hard. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they put a lot of work went into it. I just thought it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah, something, I don't know, they launched somebody in like the first shot, like somebody goes flying through the air. I was like, okay, this might be fun. And
I thought the same thing, like, oh, that's going to be cool. And then I didn't see this, but I saw it on Twitter afterwards. People talking about the girl that fell off the pole.
Yeah.
One of those poles, and she had climbed. You didn't see the halftime show at all, didn't you? She was on the top of one of these poles, and it looks like she was over his right shoulder. So Usher didn't see it happen, that she fell from the top of the pole.
I think they were trying to get out of the camera shot, but it just looked a little wobbly the way she did it.
Maybe so. I'm not certain that she fell, but I saw it was being retweeted constantly. Like, are we not going to talk about this girl that fell off the pole?
Was it a stripper type pole?
More like a circus acrobat.
Oh.
It was like a stripper type pole, but it was they were doing like Cirque du Soleil type stuff.
Oh, so it's mounted on a tire?
Yes, they just rolled it out there real fast and rolled it away.
Like at school?
Tire full of concrete.
Tetherball.
Yeah. And we talked a minute ago about the national anthem. It was okay. I thought Reba did an okay job.
I thought it was pretty rough.
Yeah. I was like, that was all right.
When you compare it to other people that have done it.
Sure. And then Post Malone's America the Beautiful. It was okay. All in all, I was just like, it was all right. It was fine.
I thought it was terrible.
What, Post Malone?
Post Malone. I thought it was just.
It was okay.
They could have gone anywhere to Las Vegas Middle School and pulled their top choir kid out and put him up there and would have done better than that.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But
he seems nice though.
Yeah, everybody says that. So nice.
What we didn't know was that we should have just been thankful that Riggins was able to watch the Super Bowl. Riggins almost died over the weekend. I mean, it was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
Details next.
Share Funny is now a little extra. The Extra Funny podcast coming up at 9 a.m. live on the Ace and TJ Family app and anytime wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities, and we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
Should you buy? Should you sell? How do I present my house if I do want to sell it? All of those questions can be answered by the experts, and they can take care of you with the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. The Temple team knows everything there is to know about selling, marketing, and buying houses. So get in touch with them today at acetj.com/Temple team. The Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
On your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer, and on the Ace and TJ family app. Anytime, anywhere, for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Little did we know until this morning that we should be thankful that Riggins is even here today. He nearly met his demise on Saturday.
Yeah. In like the stupidest way possible.
It sounds pretty stupid.
So on Saturday, TJ does small town adventures. So I said, well, that's not fair that he gets to have all the fun. I'm going to go have some fun on a Saturday morning myself. So I went through the woods. I said, Riley, we're going to go on an adventure this morning.
Riley is Riggins' little dog.
Yes. So we walk through the woods. You've seen greenways and stuff in the city. They also have these things called dirtways, which are basically just clearings in the woods. And it's a path you can walk through, and then it'll spit you out in a neighborhood or something. So we're walking through. It's raining out. It's kind of a dreary morning. And come upon a huge pool of water in the middle of this dirtway that you can't really go around. So I took Riley off the leash, and I said, just go ahead and, he'll find a way forward. So I'm following behind him, and it's amazing how animals just kind of figure out the best route to get somewhere. But he's walking on logs and stuff around this pool of water, and I am too much of a fat slob to be walking on logs like he was. He's nimble and finding a path forward. So I'm following him on these logs, and sure enough, I slip, and I didn't go ankle deep in mud. I went thigh deep, up to my hip, to like where my pocket was under the mud. One leg. I've got one leg now up on a log. The other leg is in the mud. And so the first thing I do is, oh my God, my phone is in my pocket, my iPhone. So I quickly, before I do anything else, take my phone and throw it to the closest dry piece of land.
Phone is in the pocket that's buried.
Yes.
Down so the mud is right up to the top of your pocket.
It's over the phone. Like okay. I'm like literally hip deep.
Yeah.
And I throw the phone, and now Riley has frozen because he realized there's no way forward. He's looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God. And I start dropping F-bombs like you would not believe. Oh, because now it's gotten kind of serious.
You're both stuck.
I'm not limber enough to get out of this. So I grab this tree that's next to me. I was down so deep that my shoe came off. And I have a heel lock on my shoe, which is like a way to lace up your shoe so it doesn't slip off. My shoe came off. So after I pull my leg out of the mud, I have to now then retrieve my shoe, which is probably 3 feet down in the mud. Pull it back up and it's covered. I mean, now half of my body is in mud. The shoe is covered in mud. And now I'm like 3 miles from the house.
Oh, God.
So the dog is knee deep in mud. I'm thigh deep in mud. And I was like, well, there's nothing to do. So I put the shoe back on covered in mud and then, make an embarrassing, sad, sloshing journey
so
home.
You have one leg covered in mud, one arm covered in mud.
Yeah.
And then you have to go get Riley out because the dog is stuck in the mud.
Yeah, well, he was able to get himself back out, but he was looking at me like, we're not going to keep doing this, are we? So then I took him back home and just like hit him with the hose, and it was kind of scary. Like I've never had that happen. It's obviously not quicksand, but I went, oh, now I'm like literally stuck in the mud in the middle of the woods with no one around. This could get ugly pretty quickly, and I'm disgustingly fat, so. Like, it was just not a good scenario. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, did your shoes come clean?
The shoes were fine, yeah. I mean, I hosed them off, threw them in the washing machine. It was a bit of a nightmare, but, yeah, it was a little scary. I'll be honest.
But 3 miles with one foot completely covered in mud and one leg completely covered in mud.
Yeah, and both of the trailheads are, like, in people's neighborhoods. So I'm like, you literally walk out between two people's houses. And so now I'm just like out of the woods comes like this fat freak covered in mud. They're like, it's Saturday morning. Like, who is this crazy person in the neighborhood? I was like, coming through.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
There are some weird conspiracy theories around what happened. A few things that happened yesterday at the Super Bowl. And Did your reactions match up with the rest of America? Next, hang on.
Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast coming up at 9 a.m. Eastern. Live on the Ace and TJ Family app or download anytime wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ coming up.
When it comes to your money and things like a cash out refi, you hear a lot of stuff these days. Information is flying around, but here's the bottom line. You want someone you can trust. Well, here is someone that we trust. Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies. We worked with Richard for years, and you know all the ins and outs, and more importantly, you give everybody options.
That's right. We have a lot of options. You know, this one lady, we just refinanced her house, paid off all of her credit card debts. She even paid her car off. She's saving $1,000 a month. So that really changes her life and her, you know, her financial well-being.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to make a house payment until 2024. So, I mean, there's not a better time to do it is when you need the extra money every month.
They call it cash out, is what we call it in the business.
Cash out.
Cash out.
That's right. Cash out.
So it's one free 5-minute phone call right now, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or go to homewithrichard.com. Do it today. You'll be so glad you did. The Richard Toccato Companies.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime, thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenix.
Bradham Brothers offers heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. Their family business has served thousands of customers with honesty and a smile for over 50 years. Go to bradhambrothers.com to schedule service or a free estimate today.
Great food, great drinks, great service, and great atmosphere. You can find them all at one place. Fahrenheit on South Caldwell in Uptown Charlotte, 21 stories above the city. Get details and make reservations at acetj.com/Fahrenheit.
As a proven leader in managed IT services, CompuCom delivers innovative solutions designed for how you work today. They'll help you deliver results no matter where you are on your digital transformation journey. It's all at CompuCom. Go to CompuCom.com to find out more.
Miss any part of today's show? Catch up anytime on the Ace and TJ Family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
I just looked up 3 different places about Super Bowl ads, best Super Bowl ads. Every one of them, number 1 and number 2 ranked, were the Dunkin' Donuts, the Dunk Kings with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Tom Brady, Jack Harlow, Jennifer Lopez, that whole thing. And the Verizon ad with Beyonce. Yep. Those are the 2 highest rated ones in every one. Rob, tell everybody which ad you hated.
The Duncan one.
I'm blown away by that.
You just don't like those guys?
I like Ben Affleck, but I don't know the rest of it. I didn't like it.
I thought that was hilarious.
It was funny.
Well done. A couple of interesting things come out, and I find this fascinating from the standpoint of what you did. How did it match up with the rest of the country? Someone on social media, someone scanned social media posts to find the most popular Super Bowl beer in all 50 states. The official sponsor of the game, Bud Light, didn't rank anywhere in there. Miller Lite was number 1 across the Midwest. In New England, it was Michelob Ultra. Coors Light in the Northwest, Yuengling in Pennsylvania and a couple of other states, and from California across the South to Florida, it was Modelo.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I'm fascinated by is product placement from the standpoint of, did you notice, and I'm trying to find a way to find out how much they pay. Did you notice the way the stadium is built? It has open sections, and they highlighted that several times, and it was the backdrop for a lot of the shots. But through those open sections, there's what used to be the Luxor Hotel. That's the pyramid, but it had ads on the side for BetMGM and Michelob Light. So every time they showed that shot with people, you could see those clearly. The Michelob Ultra sign and the BetMGM sign clearly showed up. And I'm dying to know what they paid to cover that building in their space. There was another building right next to that one that every time that helicopter shot circled, it had an ad all the way around like the top 8 or so floors was a big ad that went all the way down each side of the hotel. That got in there every time, which is genius when somebody figures out how to do that. Google Trends live tweeted a bunch of stats of what Americans were searching for during the game. During the first half, lowest scoring Super Bowl ever was one of the big trends. Let's see. The search for Super Bowl overtime rules obviously spiked when regulation ended. 4,200% they were up. And Alicia Keys' Red Piano at halftime caused a big spike in searches for adult piano lessons near me.
I definitely searched to see when was the last time we had a Super Bowl go into overtime.
Which was when, Rob?
Oh, I forget now. I did look it up, but I don't remember.
You were Googling that red piano. Piano lessons near me.
But you can't see out of the stadium, right? It's a full enclosed dome, isn't it?
Yeah, it has a roof.
Well, not a dome because it's not dome shaped.
Yeah.
Okay, then why did they have the fireworks going off on the roof of the building, and then why did the planes fly over if nobody inside could see the planes?
I wondered the same
Is
thing.
that strictly for a shot for the people watching on TV, I guess?
Sure.
Which are millions and millions and hundreds of millions more than are in the stadium. So it would make sense that you would do stuff for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had to be just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last overtime one was the Falcons blowing the lead against the Patriots.
Okay.
They did a flyover. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
And all you can do,
No
I guess,
one knows.
I would assume they put it on the screen.
Yeah.
They probably put it on the screen because you can't, obviously you can't see it when you're inside like that.
Loses something, though. When
I
there's
think
a
the whole
roof
thing
on.
was AI.
It was all faked.
The whole game. It was
just
AI
guys.
chat box stuff.
And the Taylor Swift bets, no, she didn't end up on the stage. No, there was no proposal. No, there was, what was the other one? There was no proposal. It was something else. And I owe a celebrity an apology because when Christian McCaffrey fumbled, they cut to the box where Taylor Swift was. They had a shot before they went to commercial. And I didn't know that Blake Lively was in the box standing next to Taylor Swift. I thought that was Brittany Mahomes because I just glanced over. I didn't really pay attention to her.
Oh, I thought it was Ice Spice.
And I saw she was up there, but she was on Taylor Swift's left, and she clearly said, "What that was that?" And I thought that was Brittany Mahomes that said that. And I tweeted it, and somebody corrected it. That was Blake Lively.
Blake Lively's hot.
Very much
Super
so.
hot.
I just thought Brittany Mahomes had teased her hair out more since she was, now on Sports Illustrated or something like that. But I had them wrong.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Certainly, you must have heard all of the Super Bowl news, but we'll see if we can find anything else coming up in that trending.
Get Ace and TJ anytime, anywhere, at your convenience with the Ace and TJ Show podcast. Available wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ is next.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culvers.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
The United States truly is a special place.
The land of the free.
A real melting pot of cultures from all over the world.
Where men, women, and children are given the opportunity to pursue their own little slice of life, liberty, and happiness.
And what better way to celebrate our rich history than with some sweet President's Day furniture deals?
Right now you can save up to $200 on select queen beds. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.